Hey there everyone, welcome to another video of Foxandroid. So in this video we're going to learn how to implement AlarmManager into our Android application, right? So those who does not know what is AlarmManager, so basically it is a feature that Android SDK provides us if we want to run a particular code at a given point of time. No matter if our app is running or not, that particular piece of code will run at a time that we have set, right? So let me just give you a brief demonstration of what you're gonna get by the end of this video. So if you can see on my mobile screen, I have these three buttons: select time, set alarm, and cancel alarm. So if I just tap on this select time and select 10:35 p.m. okay. So if I just set the alarm, so you can see I have successfully set the alarm for 10:35 p.m. So let us just wait for that time. So here you can see we have got the notification, right? If I just swipe down and click on this notification, I go to this activity, right? So this is what we'll be getting by the end of the video. If you want to implement the same to your Android application, make sure you watch this video till the end. So without much ado, let's get started. So guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and press the bell notification icon for receiving the notification of the upcoming videos. And by the end of the video, if you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well. So let's start with the development. So very first thing we are going to do is we are going to make the front end part. So let me just delete this text view and let us just go to split window. We'll set the root layout as linear layout. And the orientation is already vertical. So let me just quickly design this front end part, then I'll let you know what we have done right. So guys, we are done with the front end part. So basically we have a text view where we will set the time that is being selected by the user. Then we have three buttons to select the time, to set the alarm, and to cancel the alarm. So this is quite a simple layout, right? There's nothing fancy about it that should be explained. So now let us just quickly dive into the backend code. So before just going there, we will enable the view binding feature. So for that, I'll just come to this build.gradle app level build.gradle, right? And here we'll enable build features and view binding as true. Let's just sync the project. So okay, the sync has been completed. Now we'll just go to main activity. So now as you know that this feature is enabled if our app is not running, right? If it is not running, then also we'll get this notification, right? So for that we need to create a broadcast receiver that will receive the notification at that particular time. So for that we'll just create a new Java class. So just right click here, new Java class, and I'll just name it as alarm receiver. Okay, so this class will extend the broadcast receiver class, right? So now we need to implement a method. So alt enter implement methods. There's only one method, on receive. So whenever this particular notification is being pushed, right, this particular code will run. The code that is inside this on receive method will run. So here we'll make a notification builder and we'll show the notification. But one more thing we need to do is we need to specify this broadcast receiver in our android.manifest file. So let us just quickly do that. So for that, I'll just come inside this application receiver dot alarm receiver, and that is it. We have set this broadcast receiver. Make sure you do that here, right? Otherwise this will not work. So now inside this, I'll just create a notification, right? And let me just quickly do that. So okay guys, we have created a notification, right? Here you can see I have just created a notification. I have set certain attributes. Here you can see I've set the channel ID. We'll just create this channel ID. This is used in Android level 8 and above, right? You need to create a notification channel that will create in a main activity in just a while, right? And then we have set certain attributes. So let me just brief you about it. Set small icon, the icon that will be shown when notification is displayed. Then we have the title of the notification. Then we have the description that will be shown in smaller text. Set auto cancel as true means when the user passes on that notification, it should be cancelled, right? It should be erased from the notification tray. Then we have set all the defaults. Then set priority is equal to high means that what level of priority is there of your notification, right? For example, priority high means it will be shown even on the lock screen, or it will just pop up from the top when the user is using his cell phone, right? You can set various priorities: priority low, priority default. I'll just put the link for the official documentation of notification in the description below. After this video, you make sure you check out that documentation. Everything is explained in a clear manner that what priority needs to be set for a particular application, right? You can just go through that documentation and then you can change these attributes according to your application, right? So then we have create the object of this notification manager compat, right? And then we have called this dot notify. Basically this will show the notification, but when this notification is shown, this will not do anything if user taps on it. But we want to make sure that a new activity is opened up if a user taps on this application. So for that, we'll create an intent. So here we'll pass the activity that we want to open, right? So for example, I have just empty activity, destination activity, right? So I want to open this activity, so I'll pass this. So intent dot set flags. Okay, we have created a pending intent, right? Where we have passed this intent as an argument. Then we have the context, request code, and the flags. Now, if we want that when the user taps on it, this activity should open up, then we should do set content intent and we should pass this pending intent. So that is pretty much everything for this broadcast receiver. Now let us just go to our main activity and do our thing. So the very first thing, as usual, we do is the view binding thing. So okay, now we'll just set the on-click listener on all the three buttons, right? Select time dot. So okay, we have set the on-click listener on all the three buttons. So the very first thing we are going to do is we are going to create the channel that I was just talking about. that is this channel, right? This notification channel we need to create. So for that, let us just create a method, create notification channel. Let's just create this method. So this notification channel needs to be created if your app is running on Android Oreo or above, right? So for that, we'll just check if build.version.stk is greater than. Okay, is this particular code will create a notification channel. This needs to be done in this way only, right? So we have set the name of the channel. Make sure you set the name of the channel for whatever reason you're making it. For example, you're making a texting app or a Facebook app, so there are various channels. If you just look into the notification tab in the settings of the Facebook, for example, for if you receive a friend request, there is a different channel for that. If you receive a text message, there is a different channel. You can create as many channel as you want. So the name should be according to the application of the channel, and the description should describe for what you have made this channel. This importance again is will do the same thing. It will set the importance of the notification and it will behave accordingly. For example, if I've set importance high, that means it will be shown even if the screen is locked, and it will be popped up when the user is using his cell phone, right? And here you can see we have created this channel, and the ID of the channel should match with this one. Make sure these both things match with each other. So let me just copy this. It should be a same name, right? Then if we have passed the name, importance, then we set the description, and then we have got this notification channel, right? So there's nothing much to understand about it. Just understand this is important and this channel ID is important, right? So when the user taps on this select time button, right, we are going to call a method show time picker. So let's just create this method. So inside this show time picker, we want to show the time picker, right? So for that, we'll just create material time picker and we'll just name it as picker only. So let me just write down the code quickly. So okay guys, we have implemented this show time picker, right? We have got the instance of the material time picker. We have created object for that. We have set the initial time, when time, minutes, and the title when this picker will be shown, right? Then we have called this picker dot show, which will show the picker. Then we have set the positive button click listener. That means whenever user presses on that OK button, what needs to be done. So this particular line of code will set the time in the text view that we have implemented in our layout, right? And then we have got the instance of the calendar, and we have set the hour of the day to the hour that user has selected in the picker, then the minute to the minute selected by the user, seconds to 0, and milliseconds to 0 as well, right? So basically we have got the time inside this calendar instance. Right now our calendar will point to that particular time of the day what user have selected from the picker. This will be used to set the alarm. So now inside this set alarm button, we'll just call a method set alarm. Let us just create this method now. And let us just create a reference variable for alarm manager. We need to cast it. Let's just use this. We'll create an intent. And we'll just also create a pending intent. So private. So okay, you can see alarm manager dot set. Basically this set will set an alarm just for once, right? This alarm will be turned on once. For example, if you just set it for 5 p.m, it'll be turned on at 5 p.m. That is it. Set in exact repeating means that you want to repeat it at a particular interval that you'll pass inside this method, right? But inexact repeating means what? That for example, when I was just demonstrating it, I set it for 10:35, but it got turned on at 10:36, right? That means 1 minute after the time I have set it. So this particular things will not turn it on at the exact time that you have set in, but a minute earlier or a minute after the time you have set, right? So basically this enhances the performance of your device, right? So if it is not that urgent, you can just bear with 1 minute delay. You should always use set in exact repeating, because at the backend Android SDK just combines all the alarms that are being called in between that time period and clubs it and set a broadcast receiver to all the applications, right? So if you want to use exact time, then you should use this set exact, right? But for this point of time I'll be using set in exact repeating. And first thing I'll pass is alarm manager dot. So here you can see we have got 4 options: RTC wake up, RTC elapsed real time, elapsed real time wake up. So RTC means real time clock, elapsed means when it'll just consider the time when the system or that particular device was booted, right? So we will be using real time clock. Real time clock is the actual time that is being there in the universe, and if you just want to trigger something based on the time at which the device was booted, then you should use this elapsed real time. And RTC wake up means is it will just wake up the device at that particular time, right, to show this notification, and simple RTC will not do that. So we'll use RTC wake up. And calendar dot get time in millis will pass the time at which we want to turn on this alarm. So alarm manager dot what will be the interval. For example, I want to turn it after 15 minutes, half day, half hour, interval of hour. We want to make it operational at an interval of a day, so I'll use that. So you can also use the custom repeating. So instead of inexact repeating, you can set custom if you do not want to set in these 5 options, right? For example, you want to turn it on after 4 hours, then you should use the custom repeating alarm, right? So alarm manager dot interval day, and the last thing we'll pass is pending intent. So okay, we have implemented this set alarm as well. This will set the alarm. So let me just look at these, because I'm using Kotlin these days, so I forgot to put this semicolons. Okay, we have implemented the set alarm as well. So the last method we are going to implement is the cancel alarm. So for that, let me just call a method called cancel alarm. Right, let's just create this method real quick. So for this cancel alarm, we'll be needing this pending intent. Let me just copy it from here to save some time. Let me just copy this whole thing. Okay, now we'll check if alarm manager is equal to null, then alarm manager is equal to get system service context dot alarm service. Just typecast it. Okay, this is a way to cancel the alarm. You need to create a pending intent, but make sure that this pending intent should exactly match with the intent that you have used here, right? For example, the request code, the flags, everything should match. So you simply copy this here, right? And this particular thing will refer to this thing. And then if, for example, I've used this code because if the user has set the alarm then cancel the alarm, this will not point to null, right? But if the user has set the alarm, close the app, then again turn on the app, it will point to null. So we have just got the reference for this alarm service, then we have called this cancel function, and we have passed the pending intent inside it, and we have raised a toast. So I guess that is pretty much everything we need to do to implement this complex thing. So I know this is a bit difficult to digest, but once you implement it into your application, then you'll start understanding these things. And one more thing, you should definitely refer to the official documentation for implementing this thing, right? I've just given you a basic idea that will make this thing work, but for more features or more things to play around with, you should definitely refer to the official documentation. I'll provide the link in the description. So now let me just quickly install this app to my cell phone and check if it is working fine or not, right? So okay guys, the app has been installed to my cell phone, as you can see on my mobile screen. So just before testing it, we have got two issues when I install this app. I've just rectified it. The very first thing was I have set the on-click listener on the text view, and I've just selected this wrong ID, right? The selected time button needs to be selected. I've just rectified this. And the second thing was these brackets. There was some issue with these brackets, right? Make sure that you keep this like this only, right? Or you can just refer to the source code. I've put in the link in the description below. You can just get the source code and test it, right? These were two things. Now let us just test our app. So let me just select the time, 8 7 maybe, and set the alarm. Let's just close this app and wait for the alarm to be get triggered, right? So here you can see we have got the notification. If I just tap on this, we land to the destination activity, right? So I guess we have successfully implemented this feature to our Android application. And I also hope that you guys have understood the code. In case of any doubt, you can always ask me in the comment section, or you can DM me on Instagram. The Instagram username will be there on the screen right now. If you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And in case you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and press the bell notification icon for receiving the notification of the upcoming videos. So that is it for today's video. See you in another video. Bye.